The story kicks off in 1957, somewhere near the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. We meet a young woman named Hope. She's at a phone booth, asking the operator for a phone number. She says the number came to her in a dream. The weird part? It had no area code, which meant it had to be local. Even stranger, the number was scratched into the snow. When someone finally picks up on the other end, Hope asks, "Who is this?" But the line suddenly goes dead, leaving only static. Cut to 1982, just north of Denver. We see a teenage boy named Finn beating up another kid. His little sister, Jonna, everyone calls her Johnny, yells at him to stop. If you're wondering who Finn is, 4 years ago, Finn killed the serial killer known as the Grabber. The Grabber used to kidnap and murder kids. When he took Finn, Finn was able to talk to the spirits of the previous victims through an old black phone. With their help, Finn managed to kill the Grabber and escape. That night, their friend Ernie comes over. He's got tickets to a Duran Duran concert. Johnny is obsessed with the band, but she can't afford a ticket. Ernie promises he'll get her one. Finn teases her about it. Later that night, Finn sneaks out to smoke a cigarette, hiding from his dad. While he's out there, he suddenly sees the Grabber standing in front of him, but it's just a hallucination. When Johnny tries to talk to him about it, Finn shuts her down. He doesn't want to talk about that stuff ever again. Next, we see a kids' winter camp called Pine Lake. The children are having fun in the snow. Then, out of nowhere, someone snatches one of the boys and kills him. As he dies, the boy writes the letter W in the snow with his finger. But this whole scene was actually Johnny's dream. And Johnny's dreams always come true. Johnny wakes up hearing a phone ringing. She follows the sound and ends up at the exact house where Finn was held captive 4 years earlier. Finn shows up, wakes her, and tells her she was sleepwalking again. She tries to tell him about the nightmare, but he brushes it off. The next day at school, kids bully Johnny and call her a witch. Ernie shows up with the concert tickets and asks her straight up, "Do you actually believe in ghosts and stuff?" Johnny says yes. Ernie brought tarot cards because he already knew about her visions. Turns out, Ernie's older brother was one of the Grabber's victims, and it was Johnny who called the police years ago and told them exactly where all the bodies were buried because she saw it in her dreams. That same day, Finn gets another phone call from the dead kids asking for help. He says, "I'm sorry, I can't help you," and hangs up. That night, Johnny has the same dream again. This time, another boy is murdered at the camp, and he writes the letter P in the snow. She wakes up terrified, follows the ringing phone again, sees a completely burned boy's body outside, then suddenly finds herself in the basement where Finn was once held. She picks up the old black phone, and on the other end is Hope, the woman from 1957. Hope tells her the dead kids gave her this phone number in her dreams too. Then the connection cuts out. The Grabber's brother, who the Grabber himself killed, appears, a door opens, footsteps come down the stairs, the phone rings again. Finn wakes Johnny up. She's sleepwalked all the way back to that house. There's real blood on her leg, the same blood from the burned boy in her dream. The next morning, Johnny shows Finn the Pine Lake camp brochure. She says they have to go there right now. Finn can apply for a junior counselor job, and their dad has been nagging him to get work anyway. When their dad sees the brochure, he says, "Your mom used to work there," and asks how they even heard about it. Finn lies and says kids at school mentioned it. Johnny was ready to go alone, but Finn can't let his little sister go by herself. So he packs a bag and goes with her. The drive is brutal because of a huge snowstorm. They almost get stuck. Finn gets out and runs ahead to guide the car. They meet a woman on horseback named Mustang who leads them the rest of the way. When they finally arrive, they learn the camp has been cancelled because of the road is closed. Only a skeleton crew is there. Now the siblings, Ernie, who came along, Mustang, camp director Armando, and a couple others are completely snowed in. That night, the phone rings again in front of Finn. He picks up and says, "I'm sorry, I can't help you." But it keeps ringing. He gets mad and screams, "Who is this?" At the same time, Johnny hears scratching under her bed. She looks, there's a dead boy under there. On Finn's phone, it's the grabber's voice. The dead kids start attacking Johnny in her sleep. Finn hears her scream, runs in, and wakes her up. She's crying, saying she thinks she's going crazy. There are scratches on her arms from the dream. She hides them and goes to sit with Ernie. Later, Johnny prays that the bad dreams stop. Ernie thinks it's cool that she talks to God so casually. His mom was Catholic and would have loved that. Johnny says her mom was Christian too, and she inherited this gift from her. She's terrified it will drive her insane like it did her mom. The next morning, Johnny tells Finn that Ernie is here to help them investigate. Finn gets angry that she told Ernie everything. She shows him the scratches and explains one of the dead boys grabbed her in the dream. At breakfast, Armando tells them the road will be closed for at least 3 days because of the storm. He knows Johnny slept in the boys' cabin and warns them not to do it again, or he'll lose his license. He also knows they're not here just for a job. When Johnny says their mom's name, Armando doesn't remember at first, but when he sees an old photo of Hope, he recognizes her immediately. He asks how she died. Finn says suicide. Armando looks sad. Then the broken outside phone starts ringing again. Finn answers. This time it's the dead camp boys. They don't know they're dead. They just feel cold and lost in the dark. They beg Finn for help. He asks how they died, but they don't remember. They just keep saying, "We shouldn't be here." Johnny and Ernie go to the camp office looking for records. The woman there, Barbara, refuses to talk about the missing kids. That night, in Johnny's dream, she watches her own mom Hope talking to the dead boys back in the 50s. Then one of the ghost kids tells Johnny, "You shouldn't be here," and she follows him. She wakes up to see her mom standing in front of her for real. Meanwhile, Finn answers the phone again. It's the grabber. He says because Finn made him kill his own brother, whom he loved, now he's going to kill the person Finn loves most, Johnny. Johnny follows the ghost kids to the kitchen. The grabber appears, throws her down, and starts choking her with his axe. Everyone runs in and sees Johnny convulsing on the floor. Finn arrives and wakes her. Barbara screams that Johnny is possessed. They all sit down and talk. Armando asks Johnny to describe the dead boys. He's shocked because she knows details only he and the police know. When Finn mentions the grabber's name, everyone realizes Finn is the kid who killed the famous serial killer. Armando shows them an old camp photo with their mom in it. He used to be the cook back then. He promised the missing kids' parents he would never give up looking for their bodies. In the photo, Finn spots the grabber. His real name was Bill, but everyone called him Wild Bill Hickok because he dressed like the cowboy. He did maintenance at the camp. Johnny puts it together. WPH Wild Bill Hickok, the letters the dying boys wrote in the snow. After the grabber died in 1978, weird stuff started happening at the camp. Johnny's theory: his spirit gets power from his trapped victims. Their bodies are probably under the frozen lake nearby, Lake Meadows. Wild Bill used to take kids ice fishing there, and had tools to cut through thick ice. They decide to go to the lake the next morning to find the bodies. That night, Armando's radio turns on by itself. The grabber's voice says, "You made me kill my brother!" Lights go out. A bloody snowman face slams against the window. Later, Armando sits with Finn outside while he's smoking. He tells Finn that behind all that anger is fear of not being able to protect Johnny. He promises nothing will happen to her. Next day, everyone heads to frozen Lake Meadows and starts clearing snow. That night they take turns watching Johnny sleep so they can wake her if she has a nightmare. She tells them, "If you can't wake me, I'll have to fight inside the dream." She's terrified because the grabber is so strong. In the dream, she sees how her mom really died. Hope figured out Wild Bill was the killer, went to his house alone, got caught, and he murdered her. It wasn't suicide. The grabber wants Johnny to know the truth. Then he chases her. In real life, Johnny starts strangling herself with the phone cord inside the old phone booth. Finn and Ernie can't wake her. Suddenly the booth explodes in flames. Johnny has taken control of the dream. She realizes she has power there too. She wakes up and leads everyone to Armando. He's fallen through the ice. They pull him out. His last words before passing out: "I found Felix," one of the boys. Their dad suddenly shows up to take them home, but Johnny refuses to leave until the rest of the bodies are found. Finn and their dad both want to run away from the past. Johnny explodes at them. "You two just want to pretend none of it ever happened." Finn finally breaks down crying, admitting he's still terrified from what happened to him. Their dad tries to order her to leave. Johnny tells him the truth: Mom didn't kill herself. The grabber did. She repeats the exact words their dad said when he found Hope's body years ago. He finally believes her. The next day they keep searching. That night, Johnny falls asleep on purpose to go back into the dream and locate the last two bodies. In the dream, the grabber attacks everyone. Under the ice, Johnny sees the remaining bodies and guides the others to them in real life. Once all three boys are found, their spirits appear, grab the grabber, and drag him under the ice. Johnny chops his leg with the axe, Finn beats him, and the kids pull him down for good. The next morning, Armando calls all the parents. The boys have been found. The phone rings one last time. Finn doesn't hear it anymore. The call is for Johnny. She picks up. It's her mom, Hope. Hope says, "You did more than you had to. You freed those boys." Johnny asks, "Am I cursed forever?" Her mom answers, "It's not a curse, sweetheart. It's a gift." And that's how it all wraps up, a chilling story about facing the ghosts of the past, breaking the cycle of fear, and turning a curse into something healing. Finn and Johnny finally set those lost boys free, take down the grabber for good, and find peace with their mom's real story. If you enjoyed this recap of The Black Phone 2, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more horror recaps, explained endings, and everything in between. This has been Ground Recaps, and I'll catch you in the next one.